in the middle of recording another video and it suddenly dawned on me things Warframe can do this year that would make players happy. That would include fixing the fact that this game keeps... I'm locked in this menu. I cannot get out of it. Nothing works. I am stuck in here. Hopefully we can at least... Nope, even the menu itself is completely broken. And the only way to fix this is to hard close the game. If you're playing on console, it is even worse because you've got to go to the dashboard, kill the game, and then relaunch it. PC, you've got to Alt F4 this. It's just broken. Cannot get out of it. I've tried many different ways to get out of it, and I am yet to actually find a way that works. So when people talk about things they can fix in Warframe and things they can do, how about we start with one of the big ones? If I'm having this problem, everybody else has got to have come across it at some point. It has to be happening to other people. I know it's happening to other people because I know two other people I was talking to when this happened to me who turned around and said, yeah, I hate that too. So it's happening, but they haven't fixed it. And this is progressively getting worse. It was a marketplace thing, now it's everywhere. So let's go with the first thing I hope they fix in 2023 is menus breaking because you can't get out of it. It's just straight up. I've got to now Alt F4 the game, which means what I was doing, I'm not doing anymore because we're going to record this instead. We were going to do this anyway because I did earlier in this month the things they are going to be doing in 2023, which I mentioned the fact that hopefully for the 10-year anniversary of Warframe, they're not going to give us a bunch of skins and other junk that people are kind of getting sick of them calling it content. It's not something to do in the game when all you're doing is changing the way Warframe looks. People want something to actually do. And I was doing this because I came across a few comments over the past few days of people turning around and saying, skins is content, I don't mind skins. I don't mind them either, but for a 10-year anniversary, they cannot turn around and say, oh, here's a skin, because it's just not what you do. It's 10 years. It's like the biggest milestone they could possibly have. 1 year anniversary, not really that big. 10 is huge. There are many games that don't make it to 10 years of still... I use this quote very... Oh, how do I say this? We're getting off topic. There are very few games after 10 years that still, quote-unquote, have players. For now. But yeah, hopefully the 10-year anniversary is going to be something big. But what they could do this year is everybody knows about the Strata Relay. It was rebuilt years ago because it got destroyed by Fomorians and ended up looking like the Vespa Relay. Depending what platform you are playing on, there is a... There is a few relays you have that look like this. And yes, I am able to go to them because we have waited years since they ran the event to rebuild the Strata Relay for them to run the same kind of event to build the rest of them. Like a lot of people, I just want one in particular. The Vespa Relay. It was the first relay. The testing and everything for relays was done right there. When we lost it, it was a huge, devastating thing for relays. Then they started the events to rebuild them. This is something, thanks to this, that they quite literally have the code for. The event itself exists because they have ran it before. They have to change the relay that it is working on, and yeah, that's pretty much about it. Change where the missions are and probably reskin the inside. That, to me, is the only big thing they have to do. change the way the interior looks. They said a long time ago they wanted to change the relays. They have completely redesigned the inside to be completely new, but for years they're going to change this Warframe right here to be the Warframe that is available on that planet. Ember doesn't drop from Earth, because Ember, being the fire frame, drops from a boss in Warframe that is fire related. Yeah, she drops on Saturn, I believe. General Rook. I always want to say Sergeant, but it's Sargus or some weird thing like that. Rook. Yeah. She drops from Saturn, which has a relay. So they want to rework the relays anyway, so this would be a great opportunity for them to rework all of the relays to have the frame that drops from that planet on the relay. And it's really stupid I could not remember that, considering I spent 8 hours recording something the other day that was about, well, spoilers. I just have to spend quite a while editing that one, but yeah. Should have known where she dropped. This is the perfect opportunity for them to do this. But they won't. This all comes from messages we got from Barrow. There was one from July which mysteriously has disappeared from my inbox, so I can't really reference it. But like magic, the relays are just going to annoyingly reappear back in the solar system. When and if he decides he is finally going to turn up on the Vespa relay, it will magically be rebuilt everywhere where it has been destroyed. Rather than them running the event that they have had for a long time now, the people for years have been wondering where it is, which leads us down a road. Do I really need to mention Operation Orphix Venom? This was an event that kind of happened one winter, and they said that it would return. This is the event that brought us Lavos and, oh, the Basmo and the melee weapon that's next to it. I don't actually know what it is. I'm literally watching this as you are. But Operation Orphix, the Setilus era. Ooh, I like that weapon. Operation Orphix Venom was an event that ran, and it was really bad when it started, because you have the ship missions and the land missions, and you had to kind of swap and change between the two, but the land missions didn't work if the space missions weren't working. So if people are doing one over the other, the missions don't work. And this was a problem that they kind of fixed by the time the event had ended, but they never ever bothered rerunning this event. This is something that was semi-fixed when it ended. They could very easily rerun this event, and people would tell them what was wrong with it, and they would be able to fully fix it, instead of, yes, don't ask, you're supposed to shoot it in the chest, it was pointing sideways, I was shooting it in the side. Yeah, that is a thing. But they could rerun this event. When they first did it, there was literally 3 different parts to it. They don't really need to have as many parts to it, because it doesn't need to run like for a month like it did last time. The problem is the rewards. Lavos has his own place in the star system. The Basmo and the Lysera kind of return every now and then. Everything else that's in here has been put into other places that really they didn't need to do. They could have just reran this event, and people would have played it if they, instead of it being on for a month and it's only on for a week, they literally take what you needed then and, well, quarter it. And then it's also easier to do. And then people probably would play it, and that's the whole point, and that is the definition of the word content. When people are talking about content in the game, it's things to do. Operation Orphix Venom, though hated by a lot of people, would be something to do. Or how about we get into Operation Plague Star? Technically it's not an operation anymore, it was an event that kind of ran a while ago, but it's the rewards from this people would actually like to get a hold of more than once a year. Sacrifice mod, I do actually like that. It goes well on Jin with other things, but it's more the toxic Zor weapons. Yeah, the only way to get those, oh, and the Snipertron, and the Ether Daggers, which you can kind of see there as I'm off looking at other things. Fulmination was great for the pistol, but there is now a primed version, so not really as needed. The Arcanes, though good, I literally just threw all of my points into those to get them, because this was something that was only going to come back every now and then. They could rerun this. They themselves have turned around and said it has been a while. Yeah. Try 2 years. The Ether Daggers. Yeah, they now return every October for the Knights of Neighbourus event. The Snipertron, same deal. We were actually talking about that in Discord last night. That you do need for the event. There's certain weapons that came out, had their blueprints removed, like the Plague Store Zorports. You can only get them, and they have built-in viral damage, but you can only get them from Plague Store, so how about running Plague Store event again? That's another thing they could kind of do. There's 3. But I mean, there are so many different things they could do around here that it's actually getting to a point where a lot of them exist as code that they could do at any given point. And that is just the big events that they could rerun. There is the Fusion Moa, the Fomorian. Yeah, this entire list of operations right here. Technically, there is 2 of them that are the same. Yeah, the Grievous event. You either sided with the Grenier or the Corpus. They could rerun pretty much all of these. Some of them would work better than others now, but these are all events. I mean, the Operation Orphix Venom was quite literally the last one. I haven't really ran one since. Ambulus Reborn was based around the rebranding of a boss. Would take some editing to, oh, this isn't the the Ambulus being reborn, this is, name it something else, have the event pretty much exactly the same, but just have it, instead of reborn, says return, and change a few lines of speech. Scarlet Spear, we don't tend to talk about that. Ratham event, yeah, again, there are some of these that are literally based on Shadow Debt. Anybody remember when they were running the event to change that particular boss and then never followed through with the rework on the boss they were going to do? There's lots of these they could rerun, and this is the ones that they have a scoreboard for. How about turning them into tactical alerts? Because you see, the event is there, the coding and everything is basically there. Yes, it will need touched up and gone through, but the majority of it will still be there somewhere, and turn it into a tactical alert, because that's the whole point of the Stratos emblem. Every tactical alert that comes around progressed the Stratos emblem. So the Stratos emblem became a reward that you got from everyone, and it always changed it and made it a badge of honor. And then they kind of stopped doing tactical alerts as well, so this thing just sits there unchanged for, probably a good year or so. And lastly, we're going to have to go there, yes. In the Orb Vallis, there are 3 boss fights. Can you guess where we're going with this? Pretty much everybody can, because 1, 2, at least this one actually moves. The other one just sits there and doesn't take damage. This one walks around and doesn't take damage. It's invincible. 3. It's still there. They've never removed it. It sits here, just unscannable, on anything. But you will notice over the years it has kind of changed. Well, they could always finish this and make it an event. It's there. The entire model at this point has to be done. I'm saying that sarcastically because you can actually get under there and see the legs, but I haven't figured out how. I literally just go to the Reddit and look at it there and think, why did they never finish this? There is at least 3 pools of water this thing could come out of, and it does look like it's going to be based in some way around the water, because it's sitting in water. But they never finished it. They just kind of stopped ever mentioning it. And it's nothing more than a giant shame, because it's yet again something else Digital Extreme said they were working on, and they kind of released the Orb Mother. Technically, they are all Orb Mothers. There's 3 of them: the Prophet Taker, the one that I can never remember the name of, and the one that doesn't have a name. Even though we just went and had a look at it, yeah, it just sits there doing nothing. So that's another thing that they could do that would actually amaze us, and something that wouldn't, I'm assuming out of everything in here, that is the one that would take the longest to do, because the only thing that exists is the model. They did say back in April 5th of 2019 that they were working on it. How about that for dating when I was recording this? But then nothing came of it. So that coding, that working on it, has to exist somewhere. They can always finish it. Whether it'll happen or not, we just don't know. Whether any of this will happen or not, probably not, because Warframe, Digital Extreme, they've gotten into a very bad habit of saying, oh, we will rerun events, and it never happening. The third Orb Mother was being worked on from April 5th, 2019. Never happened. The Viri Paradox was going to release in winter of 2022. How's everybody's 2023 going? Yeah, maybe we'll find out in the future what is going on, but for now, these are just a handful of things that they could do, apart from obviously the third Orb Mother, fairly easily, that they just kind of don't. And it's a damn shame, because that would give people something to do other than hang around and wait for them to do anything these days. And with that, we'll leave this off here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.